Welcome back, everybody, to the Nerdcore podcast reviews movies and talks that nerd shit. This is episode 521, and as always, is the nerd gonna here to host the show alongside my wonderful host, Brad, Young Yoda.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to a wonderful early Thursday.
Early Thursday, indeed, because I have to make it to my screening of Black Friday, Black Adam today.
You don't
Um,
have to, you choose to.
Shut up,
This
Brad.
man been making me podcast at irregular times because he got to see fucking movies.
Well, yeah, sorry, Brad.
It's okay.
um,
Gives me reason to give you shit.
yeah. Hey,
I
at
don't
least you
need
got.
much reason.
You don't need much reason for that, bro. So it's like I asked you, Brad. Why are you the way that you are, Brad?
Ask my
Who
parents.
who fucking hurt you at such a young age, Brad?
Ask my parents.
Yeah, yeah. We will be discussing Triangle of Sadness, the Palme d'Or winner of this year from the Danish, I believe Danish or Swedish. I'm sorry, Swedish director Ruben Östlund. But of course, before we can get into any of that, Brad, what's up, man? How's your day been today?
I've been good, been good. Went to work. It was really my only full day of work this week. Kind of full day. I had to do something yesterday. I had to go to a conference thing at night, so I
Yeah.
left a little, like an hour to 30 minutes early today. So
Okay. Yeah. Sounds cool.
yeah,
Um, Nothing much happened over here either. I just had some trouble with my freaking external hard drive, and I was supposed to what's it called edit today's video for my channel, and it ended up not happening. So that was fun. Because my stupid hard drive won't it just refuses to be read by Macs. I don't know why.
well,
It,
um,
it's formatted to be read by both Mac and Windows.
oh well, then I don't know
Yeah.
if it's formatted for both. So I
Yeah.
remember I had a hard drive, and then I got a Mac, and it wouldn't read, so I had to
Yeah.
format it for the Mac, and yada yada. But if
Lose
it's
all your
formatted for
shit.
both, then I don't know.
Yeah. No say. I'm not
I'm
sure.
not. I'm not IT
No,
at all.
Brad. I'm the one who Brad asked questions about IT stuff. So
That's mostly like recording and shit. Like I can do
yeah,
basic stuff like set the camera up, put the mic together, but if it's dealing with like, the whole video formatting of like streaming and all that, it's like I don't fucking know.
let's fucking do this.
No, I don't
But
want to fucking do this.
yeah,
Somebody
but
else
work
do
was
it.
work today. So yeah, that was it was all right. And yeah, today was my last day at work, so I get to rest for these next few days and go back on Monday. So even though I'm gonna have to go back tomorrow because I left my cup, my little thermos.
Your cup runneth
So
over.
yeah. But yeah. Before we get into any of this, though, I do want to thank Neon so much for making this possible. We what's it called they had extended my screener on the film, so I said, you know what, let's go ahead and get
I
this done.
Can I just say I thank Neon as well, but I have an issue.
Why?
Is I basically got to the last so I you sent me the link to
Yeah,
play it,
screener.
and I had so many to play it. I think I had four. I think I had
Yeah.
four plays. The damn video froze one time.
Yes, happened to me. Happened to me.
And then there was another time something happened. I forget if my dog knocked over the fucking thing or something. And
So you
so
used up two
I
watches.
had two, and I played the one, and I had one left, and I still had the one left by the end of of my watch. But I was really kind of like I was a little like hesitant there
Yeah.
whenever I had to pause it, and I'm like, okay, because it froze on me when I like expanded the view, so I never expanded the view, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, I'm just
And
gonna
if you
watch it like
refresh it,
this.
that counts
Yeah,
as your
it
first one.
counts as
Yeah.
one, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
oh god,
Yeah.
Raul is gonna kill me if I only watch
Yeah.
like 15 seconds of this fucking thing.
What's good, Aiden?
What up, Aiden?
But yeah, thank you,
Half
Neon.
unstructured.
What's it called? I was able to watch this film at Vancouver International Film Festival through their screener. So I thank Neon so much. And because they extended it, I said, you know what? Let's go ahead and get them some audio coverage as well and some video coverage here because they apparently really liked our thoughts on the film. My thoughts on the film. So
Huh.
yeah, but Brad, now you know how screeners work. They can be tricky like that sometimes.
Yeah, no shit. Like when they freeze, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
oh god.
Yeah. That's why I love Vimeo links. I love it when they send them through Vimeo. But when
Because you
it's
just get
not,
as many as you need, right? It's
yeah,
just
means you
yeah.
need. Yeah. but sometimes it doesn't work like that. So
Yep. But I'm just lucky I got through it on the one watch where
yeah,
I barely moved.
it was great. 15 seconds down. Well, without further ado, we'll go ahead and get started on this because I am really interested to hear Brad's thoughts. Of course, if you want to go, what's it called? Check out my review on this one. I did write a review for the site for Vancouver International Film Festival. So go check it out on the nerdcars.com. But if you haven't seen the film, if you care about spoilers, then get out of here and read my review because I don't do spoilers on there. Yeah. But if you don't care about spoilers and you've already seen the film,
And
stick
sit
around.
your ass down.
Yeah, sit around because I'm sure we have some thoughts here. And this is your only one and only spoiler
But
warning. And it and it is in effect in a 5, 4. Fuck you, Brad. I'm gonna 3, 2, 1.
but, but
Triangle of Sadness. In French, I believe that says sans filtre. Without filter is a 2022 satirical black comedy film written and directed by Ruben Östlund in his English language feature film debut, starring Harris Dickinson, the late Charles B. Dean, rest in peace, who she passed away, believe a month before, literally weeks before the film was going to premiere. Um, Dali De Leon, Zlatko Buric, Henrik Dorsen, Vicky Berlin, and of course, the always loved Woody Harrelson.
oh yeah, that was kind of unexpected too when he showed up. It's like, who the fuck is behind it? I'm like, oh, it's Woody Harrelson. Oh, Captain, my Captain.
It follows a fashion model celebrity couple who are invited to join a luxury cruise for the ultra
Oh, we
rich.
got a raid with 3 viewers.
Yay, Tori! Thank you so much for rating
Thank you,
us.
thank you.
Um, when things then begin to go wrong, it is the last film Dean starred in preceding her death in August 2022. It premiered at the 2022 Cannes Film Festival in May, where it received an 8-minute standing ovation and won the Palme d'Or. It was released in France on September 28th, 2022, in the United States and Sweden on October 7th, in Germany on October 13th, and the United Kingdom on October 28th. It has received generally positive reviews. Hey, thank you so much. Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much,
thank you.
Tori and Stacy. It's really more of a rumbus of depression. No
Rhombus
triangle
of
of sadness.
depression.
This is the rumbus of depression. Yeah. Written and directed by Robin Östlund. And cinematography is done by Fredrik Wenzel and edited by Östlund and Mikael C. Carlson. And it sits at a beautiful 2 hours and 29 minutes.
Joe Zone in the chat.
Classic Stacy, fuck yeah. Yeah. And on a budget of $15.6 million, it has so far made $3.4 million at the box office. So, by the way, thank you, Raider, so much for stopping by. We are the Nerdcore. We're a podcast network that is devoted to everything nerd culture. So, discussing film, TV, video games, professional wrestling, and a lot of other stuff. Thank you for stopping by our review of Triangle of Sadness.
And come by tomorrow
Brad,
for the live show.
come back tomorrow for a live show. We'll be talking what's it called? Be
Andor?
talking
I think it's
Andor. Yes,
I think it's
Andor.
just Andor that's left.
Yeah. So, Brad, I'm gonna go ahead and go to you first because I already wrote my article here, so people know what I think about this film. So, Brad, what are your initial thoughts on Triangle of Sadness?
First off, I like this movie. Like this movie is pretty legit, and it's fun to watch and see because you never get to see this side of rich people. Is their insecurities, and it's all throughout this film, and it's just a great watch over and over of just seeing, from them just being assholes and getting one of the crew fired, and then him realizing how big of an asshole he really is. And then you get to watch after this rich people suffer through vomiting and the most diarrhea I think I've ever seen in a movie, and I literally watched Sallow. So the bubbling out of the ship with yeah. So I did not eat during this movie. I do not suggest anyone eat during this movie. and you'll be much better for it. I gotta say the pacing, it did lose its pacing right about when the throw up and all that happened to me. It started to slow down a little. And then it kind of picked up on the island. And yeah, Abigail's a G. I just want to put that out there. And it really does talk to of like, you know, these people who are basically just, they're wealthy for their entertainment, but they're basically useless in any other capacity. And you have the people on the ship who clean the ship and do the menial tasks, or what you think are menial tasks, and they're actually the ones that like can survive. And it's just great to see a movie that shows that.
Yeah. Um, I loved this movie. So I watched Ruben Ostlund's last film, I believe. Yeah, it was his last one. Force Majeure, which was great. Great movie as well. But there's a way that Ruben Ostlund kind of approaches narratives in his movies, especially power dynamics. And that's something that he's kind of discussing a lot in this movie. And I really, really like the way he got to this. He really kind of shows how fucking stupid the rich are sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Like just simple shit like, you know how to start a fire? And it's like,
Nope.
nope,
No one did.
nope. But he also shows how like sometimes humans are us as humans we're kind of like we're kind of like dumb sometimes too. Cause like you have the captain who's a Marxist and it's like he thinks that it's like the biggest what's it called? Fuck you to the ultra rich to eat a hamburger served on probably the most expensive plate known to man.
Yeah.
And it's like, whether you like it or not, you're still kind of playing into the scheme, into their scheme, even though you're eating French fries and a hamburger.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, I mean,
but
you still drink the expensive wine. He's still on that boat, probably
yeah,
getting paid a shitload.
and that's
And
probably what depresses him the most, and why he's drinks so much.
yeah,
It's like,
it's because he doesn't believe in any of this, but he still falls for the whole capitalism
yeah,
aspect of it, which you see in a lot of countries.
yep,
There are a lot of countries that claim to be communist or Marxist or whatever you want. They're very capitalist.
yeah. And especially I like, and it's truly sad because she passed, but I truly believe you had a star in the making here, and it really sucks that she passed, man. But my standouts in this film, I love Charles B. Dean. Charles B. Dean, she's great,
Is it
and
Charlie? I thought it was Charlie BD. Or is it Charles?
Charles B. I don't know how to say it, but it's
Okay.
just Dean.
Well,
Dean is
she was terrific in this. So was her. I don't know who the male co-star's name was, but he was
Harris
great.
Dickinson.
Yeah, and I love how in the beginning it just opens up and you're just like, these are people who get paid to be models. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
realize that they get paid so much less than women models. So it's kind of flip on society in the
Yeah,
modeling world, and it's just amazing to see just how insecure, you know, these pretty popular people are, because they never show that side of it for celebrities. They never do.
yeah. It's such an interesting way that Austin kind of shows like the gap in between the old people and the young people in the ship, because like, well, what's it called? Dean's character is just taking selfies and taking pictures of her food because she needs to keep up to date with that. Because honestly, that's the way she makes money.
That's the way she makes money. She's an influencer.
And you have like the Russian oligarch who's like, I just sell shit. I sell shit, which is not
And they're like,
true.
what? And they were like, literal shit, like
Hero shit.
fertilizer. It's like, oh, like I did it in the 80s and 90s when that shit was big, so all good there. And
Yeah.
I mean, and not only that, you have the guy who literally just for them taking a picture with him, he wants to buy them Rolexes, and you know just it shows how unhappy these people are with
Oh
themselves, how
yeah.
insecure they are with themselves, that he's to the point where because the person he was supposed to be with didn't go with him,
Yeah.
that he's just randomly buying just strangers high expensive stuff.
And it's like, dude, they all can buy that themselves. Like, you know,
Yeah.
You're
You're
on.
not doing it like you may be very rich, but so is everybody else on that fucking
Yeah,
boat.
I'm 100% sure that Russian oligarch can probably buy every single Rolex on that damn boat. Can buy the boat if he wants to. Um, and that's also kind of like Austin kind of saying like even inside the higher class, they seem to like divide themselves too and be
Oh yeah.
like, I make more than you, so I feel like I'm higher than you. And
Well,
it's like,
there's a lot of entitlement there, and you especially get that. And I'm kind of skipping ahead. You especially get that on an island
oh yeah,
where Abigail, she literally comes onto the scene off the boat, and they literally take her water. But then she
take her
goes into
water.
the ocean. She catches a squid on her own. She cooks the squid, and then they're like, "Well, why are you getting so much?" And it's like, you literal people are so entitled. This woman literally caught the squid, cleaned the squid,
Yeah,
cooked the squid, and you should be lucky she's sharing with you and doesn't gut you there.
yeah, and it's
Because I
like
think
much
she
like
could.
reminding me much like a parasite where you're kind of really talking about like this really parasitic relationship of classism. And it's like because everybody was like super scared that they were on that island. Everybody, the minute that they find out that Abigail's there, they're like, oh, here we go, here's someone who we can use so that way she
Yeah.
can do the shit for us. And it's like, no, Abigail does not sit back and allow that. She even like grabs her backpack, puts chips and water in there too to
Oh,
make sure that she has enough.
and she ends up with a toy boy. So
Yeah,
so the only thing he really is good for is his looks at that point.
yeah.
And he's basically, paying sex for pretzels.
Yep.
But then I guess I want to go back and I want to talk about you had the two British I guess weapon manufacturer
Yeah.
magnates,
Oh my god.
and it was just such a great it was kind of stupid, but it was a great way to end those two by the wife picking. So if y'all, I don't know if y'all have watched this or not, hopefully you have, because it is a very good movie. You had basically pirates, you know, come through, and one throws a grenade, and they had been talking about they manufacture grenades and all that, and the wife picks up the grenade and goes and shows it to her husband. I think this is one of ours, and the grenade goes off, and then the rest of the ship blows. It's a great scene. But I just love just kind of the karma that comes after them, because most of the time that doesn't really happen to weapons manufacturers, I'm sure.
Yep.
um so it was kind of cool to see. But fast forward, we're at with Abigail, and it was such, so Abigail is basically, she has become, the dictator of this
Yeah.
group, because she's the only one who can do anything, and she's basically keeping them alive. She's getting what she wants. And then they go for a walk, and she finds out that this is a luxury resort. Her and Charlie B's, um Carly B. I don't know how to say her name, but
What's her character's name? It's Yaya. Yaya.
yeah, yeah. So her and Yaya end up going for a walk by themselves and figuring out this is a luxury resort. And before the end of this, you have um, Abigail struggling with the fact that now she has to go back to what she had
Yep.
started off with even Yaya going, "Oh, I'll hire you, Abigail, as my personal assistant." And it's just like,
Fuck
ooh,
no. Yeah.
she's gonna get bludgeoned to death with that rock.
Yeah. And it's like once again you go back to like the oh wow, hold on, we were here in luxury. It's like, oh cool. We can go back to normal, right? Like pretend like none of this happened. And it's like, you know, once again, it's like all you are to these like rich fucks are just labor. You're just
Yeah.
labor.
Well, and it's funny because the rich fucks are totally useless. They are useless. They were literally laying on the beach dying before Abigail showed up with water.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Abigail has basically kept them alive for however long they are on this resort island before the guy selling shit shows up, before we realize it's a resort island. Um, and we don't really know how it ends. It ends kind of, as a cliffhanger. But in my mind, I'm pretty sure, I would like to think Abigail didn't bludgeon her, but really, if anything, she deserved it.
Yeah. But also, who's to say that Yaya was so dumb that she didn't even know how to get back to where she was at,
Yeah.
and Abigail just left her, and not tell anybody, or like try to tell them like that she's crazy or something. Like you know, it's like it's interesting to think, but I was even gonna say like, but these assholes like they're not stupid because they know how much they can get away with because they are rich and because they are the
Hmm.
ones who are. That's why that moment is so great in the film. The vomit. By the way, there's something that what's it called that like I don't know how much uh, Oslin is a fan of metal and stuff, but like he does the same thing in like his last film in Force Majeure, where he like has like a really fast paced like metal song playing with like chaotic shit going on, but like I want to see this movie in the theater
Well,
just
and
because I want that moment again. I want to see that moment again with that music playing and with everything just fucking coming out of the toilet and like all that shit.
and
But
the whole reason like they even got sick, and they kind of played off the crew and all that is it's the waves and shit, which doesn't help. But it's because one of the rich Russian oligarchs wanted the whole crew to go swimming. And the chef
yep,
literally tells them the food is going to go bad. He literally says that. And they're like,
yeah,
"We don't care. The oligarch wants everyone to swim." And
yep,
the chef is just like, "Well, okay." And
yep.
that's how this all transpires into a huge fucked up beyond any recognition moment.
And just so like granted, I'm glad I wasn't eating when I was watching that moment, but
Yeah,
then
no
I
kidding.
was
Thank you for the
laughing.
warning there.
Yeah,
Cuz I was just like, I'm glad I took Raul's advice and I didn't eat right now.
yeah, but it was fucking hilarious. Like one
It
of the
came to a point
funny.
where I was just kind of done with it because it kept going and they kept showing rooms and then shit was coming out of the toilets and going everywhere.
Yeah.
And but there was a lot of good, like the cinematography in this is
Oh
outstanding.
yeah.
Some of the shots they get, the one where the table, like, so they're in the lifeguard vest because the drunk Russian gets on there and he says, "We're going down with the ship," and then he's like, "I'm just kidding."
We're
But
going
like
down with the
people
ship.
but people already got
the,
life
sh-
vests and they're waiting in the boat to go down.
the ship
And you
is
have
not
that
going
that
down.
one shot where the table slides
Oh yeah.
and it like gets to here to this guy, and then it slides back, and I'm just like, that was a good shot.
That was
That was a
good. Yeah.
terrific shot.
Yeah. Oh, but like I'm telling you, man, there's just it's such a great job in that, and I'm like the vomit cinematography chefs. Yeah, yeah, Stacy. But I love the cinematography and all that. I love the score in this film. He doesn't really have a score. It really has like songs, like
Yeah.
because that's kind of what he does, like orchestral pieces. He did that in Morse Majeure as well. And of course, I need to watch The Square because I have never seen The Square before. But um, I thought it was just fantastic, man. Um, I have not had like this much fun watching dumbasses vomit and poop come out of a toilet so before. I've never had fun watching that, but this movie gave me that entertainment for some reason.
No,
And
it was very well done. And the story, like, going in, like, I kind of figured, like, in the first probably 10 to 15 minutes, I'm like, this is cool. This is something you rarely see people do, and that's talk about the insecurities of the rich.
yep. And I like, and that's why I think it adds that little extra layer that I was like, okay, this is really good, and I was like able to get behind that. Um, what's it called? Brad, you have anything else that you want to say, or shall we go into these final thought into
I mean,
what's it called
I,
final
I
verdict?
hope I hope more people watch this because I think it deserves it. And I hope it gets some
Oh yeah,
awards in award season, of course, and get some more hype up because it was really unexpected and really good movie for
yeah.
me. Like, I didn't know what I was going to go in. Raul was just like, "This is good. Watch it.
Don't
We need
even
to
watch
review
it.
this," and I was like, "Okay." Um, but yeah, from the very beginning until the very end, this is a very well done piece of art.
Yep. And like I said, really, 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 sad that Charlie Dean was
You could tell she was probably going to be a rising star.
yeah. Oh, so it's pronounced Charlby,
Charlby.
Charlby
Charlby.
Dean. Yeah, and you could tell that she was a star in the making, and she was so young, and she died so young, and yeah, man, she what's it called. You could tell that she was ready for this, and I felt like this movie was definitely gonna push her,
Yep.
and but yeah, Brad, what are you gonna go ahead and give Triangle Sadness?
I'm going to go ahead and give Triangle of Sadness a solid 9 out of 10.
Nice. If you've already looked at my review online, you already know what I'm going to give this. But as I've said before, this is only the second film I've given a perfect score to. So Ruben Ostlund's Triangle of Sadness gets a 10 out of 10. I love this movie. I need to watch The Square. I loved Force Majeure, and I need to see this one. See The Square as well. There's not a lot of filmmakers out there. He belongs to a small little club who've won the Palme d'Or twice in their career. So,
What is it, like 6 or 7? That's it, I
mhm.
think.
Coppola is one of them. Um, I believe
Francis Ford or Sophia?
Francis Ford, Brad.
Okay.
I don't believe fucking Sophia's won the Palme d'Or.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, what's it called? He belongs to that small little club, and yeah, guys, go and check it out. It is playing in theaters at the moment. I believe it just received the expansion. Wow, 10. Yep. Say yep. Chosen a freaking 10. First Venom 2. Now this one, bro.
Amazing.
Um,
Amazing, guys. Thank you for the chat.
Take for the chat. Guys, please go watch this. It is currently on its expanded release, so you can go check this out at your theater where it's being played. And well, if you want to wait until it hits streaming and stuff, I guess we'll keep you all up to date on that. But we want to thank Neon again. Thank you so much for the screener. Thank you so much, Vancouver International Film Festival, for making this possible because I watched it at Vancouver International Film Festival. So what? Because which technically means one because 10 out of 10 equals one. So damn, that's tough. Shut your ass up, bro.
Matthew.
Yo. Yeah. Yep. No, well, 10 out of 10 would not equal one.
It just looks 10 divided by 10 roll. Just
10 divided by 10, huh?
don't think on it too much. It's a joke.
It's a joke. Yeah.
Just a joke.
It would be 100% because you add the zeros at the end. Yeah. But
You got to times it by 100.
times it by 100, yeah. But yes, thank you all so much for sticking around here, y'all. We want to thank Stacy. We want to thank Keon. We want to thank Tori,
Thank you to
Aiden.
Tori for the raid, of course.
Yes, thank you, Tori, for the raid. We want to thank all y'all. Of course, if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure that you subscribe. And when you subscribe, hit that notification bell so that way you don't miss a single stream or piece of content that
Ding.
hits the YouTube channel. And if you're listening to us on a podcast platform and you can leave a review, go ahead and give us those 5 stars, y'all. Please.
Boom.
It helps us out a
You know
lot.
you want to.
You want to. We want to thank our Patreon supporters because without them, none of this is possible. So thank you all so much for making it possible. And we want to thank our producer and our writers. We want to thank our executive producer, Shane. Where can you find him, Brad?
You can follow our friend Shane at twitch.tv/XSRK or on Twitter at ThriftedIL or go buy something from the Suppy God at Prison City Vintage in Illinois.
Awesome. And of course, we want to thank our writer, Tony.
Hey, Tony! Fucking
At
choose a
Real
movie.
At Real Nerdy Dad on Twitter. And Kylie.
Kylie not in the chat today, but we are early, so
Yeah.
this is for future. This is for future Kylie. Kylie in the chat.
Future Kylie. At Kylie PLI on Twitter, Kylie P Sports 90 on Instagram. Thank you all so much. Of course, if you want to join those or be on our Patreon, all you need to do is go to www.patreon.com/nerdcore. If you are looking at us on video, then you just need to check out that link that's on there. But yeah, www.patreon.com/nerdcore for all your wonderful early access and exclusives. But without further ado, we will catch you all tomorrow when we talk about episode 7 and 8 or 6 and 7 of Andor.
The last few episodes of Andor. How about that?
Yeah. These last 2 episodes of Andor, and of course, Saturday we'll see what. Oh, Saturday nothing happens because Brad's not gonna be here on Saturday.
Nope,
And cool,
I shall
because
not be here.
we don't have any more Rings of Power to talk about. So cool.
Sorry,
and then
y'all.
on Sunday we'll talk about House of Dragon, the season finale of House of
Sunday.
Dragon. Yeah,
Sadness.
Sadness. I am in a triangle of sadness because
Triangle of sadness right there.
House of Dragon.
Or a rhombus of depression.
Rhombus of depression. I like rhombus of depression.
I like rhombus of depression. Thank you, Stacey.
Yeah. But we'll catch you all this weekend. But in the meantime, it's been a lot of fun. Brad, let's go ahead and send them out of here.
All right, Raul, thank you for being the host as always. Thank you to all those who joined us in chat today. Thank you. Thank you to all our listeners out there, all our Patreon supporters. We appreciate each and every one of you. And to end this episode, I'm just going to go, blah, Young Yoda out. Who ordered the poo-poo platter?